Hello and welcome to this European Schoolnet Academy course on games in schools. This is Module 6 where we're talking about why is it important to teach about games. In this short video we're going to be tackling the evolution of games. When we think about the evolution of games in the context of this video, we're really thinking about two things. First of all is the evolution of the gaming industry and how financial models have changed. And secondly, the evolution of games themselves due to changes and advances in technology. Let's start with the evolution of the gaming industry in terms of financial models. When you used to get a game, it was either free because it was given away, or it was premium because you paid for it. But in recent years, a really new business model and popular business model within the gaming industry is called freemium. Freemium games are particularly popular on mobile platforms. What a freemium game is that you're given the game for free, but as you progress through the game, you have to start paying premium prices in the form of micropayments, either to unlock different levels of the game or to unlock digital artifacts which enhance gameplay. One of the challenges of freemium, as I've already mentioned, is it's very popular on mobile platforms, and quite often these mobile platforms are linked to online payment systems. The International Software Federation of Europe invested the issue of microtransactions in video games, and as part of this work they commissioned a survey from Ipsos Murray. Ipsos is an independent statistical agency in the UK, and they in turn led a survey on how children in the European Union spend money in games. According to the data they collected, 8 out of 10 parents have some sort of agreement with their child on how much they can spend on in-game purchases. Interestingly, the data here suggests that most parents do monitor how their children spend money in games, but far fewer parents use the parental controls to limit the spending. You do occasionally see children spending vast amounts of money on video games in tabloid newspapers or on the news, but the reality of it is that these cases are really small and really quite anecdotal, and they almost always occur when parents have not set the parental controls. It's also important that we know that there's a policy amongst video game companies to reimburse families if this ever happens. The key here is obviously education. And we have a role as teachers to share information about parental controls, including how to control online spending, with our wider parent bodies and school communities. In doing this, we also need to make sure that we're encouraging parents to have dialogue with children about games and good gameplay. This includes things like screen times, spending agreements, and other healthy factors to do with responsible gameplay. The other thing that I wanted to talk about is how games themselves have changed. You've only got to look at the evolution of certain gaming characters, in this case Mario. He looks and feels completely different to the original Mario, which appeared on our computer screens over 20 years ago. And if we look up close, we can also see that he's starting to look more realistic in terms of graphics. Of course, Mario is really a cartoon character, but it's not just cartoon characters that have improved in their looks. Human-like characters have also improved significantly over time. In short, games are starting to look more real than they've ever looked like before. The characters within games are also starting to do more real things, including holding real artifacts, which sound like real artifacts, in this case a gun. So, the challenge of course is then, if games are starting to look more real, and they're starting to sound more real, the gameplay themselves is starting to become more immersive. A further challenge is actually games are starting to feel more real as well. What you can see in this picture here is a vest and also a helmet which is fed off compressed air. When you get shot in the game, it feels like a little bit like you get shot in real life. Or when you get stabbed, again, there's some kind of sensor and motion which is associated with that. So games are looking more real, they're sounding more real, and they're even starting to feel more real. And when we take that into the domain of augmented reality and virtual reality, as we saw in some of the previous videos, we're actually starting to create these really immersive spaces. And one of the challenges that we've got here, of course, is that if a young person comes into contact with a game that is not age appropriate and that they're not emotionally ready for, then we start to get these kind of blurring of boundaries. The gameplay starts to become reality rather than the other way around. And that's another reason why it's really important that we talk to young people about games and some of the dangers associated with online content. And it's also really important that, of course, that we talk to parents to make sure that they're speaking with their kids about gameplay and to really reinforce some of the boundaries around PEGI and the age-appropriate ratings. Okay, so that's the end of the video about the evolution of games. What we're asking you to do throughout this module is just go onto the Padlet site that you see on the forum and to post your favourite internet safety and responsible use resource, which is linked to online games or gameplay. See you in the next video. And don't forget to use the hashtag GamesCourse to help us bind this conversation together.